Hare Krishna. Welcome to the biography of Srila Gadadhar Pandit. Gadadhar Pandit is a special person in the pastimes of Lord Chaitanya. He is the chief assistant of Lord Chaitanya. And in Chaitanya Charitamrita it is said that he is the potency and effulgence of Radharani herself personified. And he is a member of Panca-tattva. Panca-tattvatmakam Krishna Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam. This Bhakta Shaktikam is Gadadhar Pandit. That means he is the devotional energy of the Supreme Lord. He has come as Gadadhar Pandit. Now, Gadadhar Pandit was 1 year younger than Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and their family was earlier staying in Chattagram, and when he was 12 years old, they shifted to Navadvip. Their house was very near to the house of Jagannath Mishra, and both of them, they used to play together, all the activities they performed together, and they were very attached to each other. They studied from the same school of Gadadhar Pandit, and their natures were completely contrast. Gadadhar Pandit was very mild, peaceful, serene, respectful, and he was fond of solitude. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who was Nimai at that time, he was very restless and very argumentative and sometimes violent. So there was complete contrast in their behavior. And Nimai used to challenge Gadadhar Pandit with so many materialistic activities, and all the devotees would pray for him. When will Nimai become a devotee? And even Gadadhar Pandit used to pray to Lord Krishna to make him a devotee. And Nimai would say to Gadadhar Pandit that, you want me to become devotee? You will see, one day I will become such a devotee that Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva will come to my doors. That way he used to tease Gadadhar Pandit. But after some time, when Nimai went to Gaya and returned back, he was a changed person. He was absorbed in the names of Krishna and completely absorbed in chanting and hearing and meditation about Lord Krishna. And all the devotees became very happy. Gadadhar Pandit was very happy. One day he was crying in ecstasy and in separation with love for Krishna, and no one could control him. Everyone tried to pacify him, but he went on saying, where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? Like he was not able to sustain his life. And Gadadhar Pandit held him and said, Krishna is in your heart. So he became somewhat pacified. But he began to tear off his chest with his nails. So Sachimata was there and other devotees were there. They all got frightened. So Gadadhar Pandit said, Nimai, he is there, he will come for you. Any moment he will come. Just have patience. So Nimai became pacified. Seeing this, Sachimata became very happy, and she said, I become afraid to go in front of him when he comes in this mood. But you made him peaceful and pacified. So please never leave him. Always be with him. So from that time, Gadadhar and Nimai were inseparable. And after that, they danced together, they cried in ecstasy together, and that set the mood of Nam Sankirtan. In Srivasangan, when they performed Nam Sankirtan, when they used to dance in Kirtan, Nimai would change his color to Lord Krishna's color. That was dark monsoon cloud. And Gadadhar Pandit would change his color to the color of Srimati Radharani, that is golden color. And all the devotees who were dancing in that Kirtan, they would identify each other with their original identities in spiritual world, in Golok Vrindavan. They could understand, he is this person, he is this person. So that was the mood set at that time for Nam Sankirtan. One day, they were moving through a forest. Jagdananda Pandit was also with them, and they saw a parrot, all three of them. Gauranga, who is Nimai, Gadadhar Pandit and Jagdananda Pandit. They saw a parrot who was sitting on a bakula tree. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Nimai, he caught hold of him and said, "You are Shukdev Goswami, son of Vyasdev. Chant the glories of Radha and Krishna and sing their names." So the parrot began to say, "Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari." So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, "Why are you chanting Gaur Hari? Chant Krishna's name, chant Radharani's name." So he still said, "Gaur Hari, Gaur Hari." Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu became somewhat angry from externally he was angry, but internally he was happy. But he let the parrot go. So he flew again on the bakula tree, and from there he began to chant Gaura, Gaura, Gaura. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked him, "Why are you not chanting Radha and Krishna's names?" So the parrot said, "I am a simple parrot, and all I know is that Vrindavan has transformed into Navadvip, and my worshipable Lord Krishna has come as Gaurang Mahaprabhu, and my beloved Radharani, she has come and she is standing before me as Gadadhar Pandit." And then chanting the names of Krishna, he flew away. One day, Gadadhar's friend Mukunda Dutt, he told him that let's go and take darshan of a very great Vaishnava who has come to Navadvip. And Gadadhar Pandit always wanted to take association of saintly people and hear about Krishna. So he was very happy. So both of them, they went to a great Vaishnava. His name was Pundarik Vidyanidhi. Pundarik Vidyanidhi in his earlier life was the father of Srimati Radharani. His name is Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So, but when he came to Navadvip, he had changed himself into a little aristocratic person. He had made himself appear like a very materialistic enjoyer, and he was wearing all the silken robes, and there were silk cushions all around, and he had combed his hair very nicely with scented oils, and he was sitting very lavishly, and two people were fanning him, and he was chewing pan. So when Gadadhar Pandit and Mukunda went to take his darshan, Gadadhar Pandit became very suspicious in his heart. How come he be a great saint? He looks like a materialistic. So, but he didn't say anything. But from his expressions, Mukunda could understand, and he began to chant a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. It meant that Lord Krishna is so merciful that when a demoness, Rakshasi, Putana, came to feed him, she smeared poison on her breast, and she came as if she came to feed him milk, but she came to kill Krishna. But Krishna is so merciful that he just saw her intention that she has come to feed him milk. So he took that milk from her and sucked her life air, and finally he transported her soul to Golok Vrindavan and gave her a position of a nurse to him, that is mother. He made her a mother in the spiritual world. So Uddhava is telling Vidura, who else can be more merciful than Krishna, who is doing this and who is showing such mercy? Hearing this, Pundarik Vidyanidhi became so ecstatic in love for Krishna that he began to cry, and he said, Ha Krishna, you have come to save everyone in this world, but not me, because I am so fallen. And he began to cry, and then he got up from his seat, and there was trembling in his body and shivering, and his hair stood on end, and he began to roll on the ground. 10 people couldn't control him. Seeing this, Gadadhar Pandit understood that he is such a great Vaishnava, and I made an offense by thinking that he is a materialistic person. So he thought that I have to atone for my offense, and so he decided to take initiation from him. And when later on, when Pundarik Vidyanidhi came to know about this, he became very happy and he said, it takes a person lifetimes of pious activities to get a disciple like you, Gadadhar Pandit. And he was very happy, and Lord Chaitanya also became very happy to hear all this. And then Pundarik Vidyanidhi initiated Gadadhar Pandit. After that, it was time for Lord Chaitanya to take sannyas. At that time, when Gadadhar Pandit heard about this news, Gadadhar Pandit was devastated. He persuaded Lord Chaitanya not to take sannyas. He told him, you can be in the Grahastha ashram and preach, but ultimately he said, you are fully independent and you can do whatever you want to do, because no one can change your wish. And Lord Chaitanya had taken sannyas to give Krishna consciousness to me and you, to everyone. He wanted to reach the most envious people and even the atheists, to liberate them from this world. So after he took sannyas, he went to Jagannath Puri to live. The devotees would go and meet Lord Chaitanya once in a year during the time of Jagannath Ratha Yatra. But Gadadhar Pandit couldn't live for so long in separation with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Lord Chaitanya allowed him to stay in Jagannath Puri. And he gave him a nice place to stay near the sandy beach. The place is known as Yameshwar Tota. Tota means garden. So there he is to stay and perform services. And once Lord Chaitanya gave him a special mercy. He asked him to dig in a particular place, and both of them, they found out a deity of Gopinath. That deity is installed in the garden, and that is why the deity is called Tota Gopinath. It's a very beautiful deity of Lord Krishna, and this deity was earlier worshipped by Lord Brahma, and it is said that after worshipping Gopinath, he composed the verses of Brahma Samhita. So Lord Chaitanya gave him 3 instructions. He said, Gadadhar, you do these 3 duties. First, you teach Srimad Bhagavatam to everyone. Second, you give initiation to the deserving candidates who are true seekers on the path of bhakti. And third, serve the deity of Gopinath. So Gadadhar Pandit would do all these activities very nicely. And he took Kshetra Sannyas. Gadadhar Pandit took Kshetra Sannyas. That means he would stay in that particular place in Jagannath Puri to worship Gopinathji. Kshetra Sannyas means you cannot go beyond the area of that Kshetra, that area. But so after some time, when Lord Chaitanya wanted to go to Vrindavan on pilgrimage, Gadadhar also wanted to go with him. But now he has taken this sannyas. So Lord Chaitanya said, you cannot come with me because you have taken Kshetra sannyas. So Gadadhar Pandit was so attached to Lord Chaitanya's lotus feet that he couldn't bear a separation from him. He said, the hell with my vow. Just by serving your lotus feet, I will be serving Gopinath 1,000,000 times, and wherever you are, that is Jagannath Puri. In this way, he tried to tell Lord Chaitanya that I want to come with you. But Lord Chaitanya wouldn't listen. He said, but the fault will come upon me that you have broken your vow, but people will talk about me, that because of me your vow is broken. So Gadadhar Pandit said, no, I will take the fault on me. I will not walk with you. I will walk somewhere from behind alone. So no one can say anything. So both of them, along with the devotees, they travelled to a distance. And when they came to a place called Kathak, there Lord Chaitanya stopped and said, see, because you want to come with me, that desire of yours is because it's ultimately your happiness, that is, it is sense gratification. you are breaking that principle that we should not do sense gratification, and second, you are breaking the vow of Kshatriya sannyas. You are breaking two principles of religion. So now do not argue, I will move ahead, you go back to Jagannath Puri. And he sat in the boat and began to travel. Seeing this, Gadadhar was devastated. He fainted there and there. But before going, Lord Chaitanya had instructed Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya to take him back to Jagannath Puri. So Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya brought Gadadhar Pandit to Jagannath Puri, and he said to Gadadhar Pandit that just remember the pastimes of Krishna and Bhishma Dev. Lord Chaitanya has given you special mercy, just like how Krishna protected the vow of Bhishma. Both had taken vow. Bhishma had taken vow not to lift weapon, and Krishna also had taken vow not to lift weapon during the war of Mahabharata. But to protect the vow of Bhishma, Lord Krishna broke his own promise and protected the vow of Bhishma Dev. Similarly, Lord Chaitanya also cannot bear the separation from you, and he has protected your vow, but he has suffered the pain of your separation. In this way, he made him understand. And then Gadadhar Pandit continued his service to Gopinath. But at that time, what happened? Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned back. He didn't go to Vrindavan. And when he came, all the devotees came to meet him. And Gadadhar Pandit also came to meet him. But Lord Chaitanya said, Lord Krishna didn't allow me to enter Vrindavan. You know why? Because I made Gadadhar Pandit unhappy. This is the principle Lord Chaitanya taught to everyone, that if you hurt anyone, Lord Krishna wouldn't allow us to enter Vrindavan, because Vrindavan is a state of consciousness. And then Gadadhar Pandit just paid him obeisances and touched his lotus feet. He never considered it that way. Then after some time, when Lord Chaitanya had to depart from this world, it was time for his disappearance. He came to Tota Gopinath temple, where all the devotees were performing kirtan, and he entered the deity. He went into the altar of Gopinath, he closed the door, and he entered the deity of Gopinath. And when everyone came to know, everyone was devastated. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not there in the altar. And when Gadadhar Pandit saw this, it was like a thunderbolt to him. And now also in Gopinath temple, if you go into, when you go for the darshan of Tota Gopinath, if you see in the right knee of Tota Gopinath, there is a slight crack. It is said that Lord Chaitanya disappeared through that, he entered through that crack in the knee of Gopinath and left this world. So Gadadhar became very unhappy and very grief stricken, and he couldn't bear the separation from Lord Chaitanya, and he started aging in years in one day. He was just 47 years old, but he became so old that he bent himself completely, and his limbs were not working. He was not able to hear, he was not able to see, he was not able to worship Lord Gopinath. He was not able to offer him chandan, he was not able to dress him, not able to offer flower garland on him. So he decided to appoint a pujari. So, but at that day, on that day, Lord Gopinath appeared to him in the night and spoke to Gadadhar Pandit, and he said that I want services from you, so for your convenience I will shorten myself. So next day, when Gadadhar Pandit opened the doors of Gopinath temple, he saw Gopinath deity was in a sitting position in crossed legs. So this is the only deity of Lord Krishna in whole world which is sitting. So this is the reciprocation of Lord Krishna with his devotees. And But before leaving, Lord Chaitanya had instructed Gadadhar Pandit that a devotee named Srinivas Acharya will come and teach him Srimad Bhagavatam. So he had to wait for Srinivas Acharya, otherwise he would have left his body at that time only. So when Srinivas Acharya came and paid him obeisances, Gadadhar Pandit was in such a state that he was not even able to recognize people, and he was not able to read Srimad Bhagavatam. When they both said to read Srimad Bhagavatam, they saw that the pages had become so faint, because when they used to read together, Lord Chaitanya would cry tears, and Gadadhar Pandit also would cry in tears, and the ink of Srimad Bhagavatam had completely been washed off. So they couldn't read the book properly. Lord Chaitanya would ask him, read again the pastimes of Prahlad Maharaj, pastimes of Dhruva Maharaj, until he read till 100 times. And in this way he used to cry in remembering the great devotees like Prahlad Maharaj and Dhruva Maharaj. That is the love the Lord has for his devotees. So Gadadhar Pandit couldn't read, neither Srinivas Acharya could read. So Gadadhar Pandit somehow told him to get a new copy from Bengal. At that time they had to write the book, write all the 18,000 books. It's not that now by Srila Prabhupada's mercy we can get the copies of Srimad Bhagavatam and we can read at any time. But that time they had to write personally. So Srinivas Acharya went to Bengal and got the copy written, and when he was returning, when he was on the outskirts of Jagannath Puri, he got the news that Gadadhar Pandit had left the body. Srinivas Acharya fainted, and at that time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Gadadhar Pandit appeared to him and said, "You go to Jiva Goswami and study Bhagavatam." So these are the beautiful pastimes of Gadadhar Pandit. There are many pastimes of Gadadhar Pandit which shows how Gadadhar Pandit served Lord Chaitanya in so much intimacy, in so much humility, tolerance and deep attachment to Lord Chaitanya. He had such great love for Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should beg to Gadadhar Pandit to give us some taste in reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And whenever we remember Gadadhar Pandit, all our egoistic tendencies, our pride, our selfish attitudes, arrogance, they just disappear. Whenever we feel all these kinds of feelings in our heart, we should remember Gadadhar Pandit, and immediately those feelings will be wiped off. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur also installed Gaur Gadadhar deities in many places, and Bhakti Vinod Thakur's worshipable deities are Gaur Gadadhar. They are in Godrum Dvip in his Samadhi Mandir. And Srila Prabhupada used to say that Panca-tattva are non-different than their names, and he has asked us to chant the Mahamantra, but before that he said you must chant the Panca-tattva Mahamantra, because the personalities are present in their names, and when we chant their names, they remove our obstacle in devotional service and give us the mercy, so that we can chant and perfect our life and become dear to the Lord. So we should take the dust of these great personalities upon our head and follow in their footsteps and give up our anarthas and become dear to the Lord. Thank you for watching this video. All glories to Gadadhar Pandit. Hare Krishna.